Today's topic is paying it forward. We in Science of Mind are in the business of paying it forward. It's never about waiting for something good to happen and then doing something. It's about doing something good, paying it forward, and of course, more good comes into our lives. It's not, I'll believe it when I see it. It's, I'll believe it so I see it. The seeing doesn't come first. The belief does. And if we don't see it, it's because we don't believe it. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our movement, tells us if we believe that it will not work, it really works by appearing not to work. When we believe that it cannot and will not, then according to the principle, it does not. But when it does not, it still does, only it does according to our belief that it will not. So let's break this quote down. If we believe that it will not work, it's really working by appearing to not work. So what is this it? What is it? It is the power that creates everything out of itself. It is the one, God, Spirit, or whatever name you'd like to give it. It is the power itself. And the only words this power ever speaks is yes. That's it. All this amazing, magnificent, all-powerful force says is yes. It's not choosing for us whether we can have or not have what we can do or not do. It simply says yes to whatever we ultimately believe. So if you choose to believe something can't be until you can see it, this magnificent, benevolent power says yes, you can't see it. If you believe something is impossible, this wonderful, loving presence says yes, it is impossible. If you believe you are sick, the power that creates us and everything out of itself says, yes, you are sick. And if you believe there is no God and there is no power, this same power you don't believe in says, yes, you will experience no such power in your life. Now, this thinking is not new. Folks have known this through the ages. In the Old Testament, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Aristotle said, what we expect, that is what we find. Shakespeare said, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And Jesus said, as we believe, it shall be done unto you. Buddha, Jesus, Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, Swedenborg, Emerson, Whitman, Browning, or any other great mystic, no matter what the age they lived, found the same ultimate truth. So we didn't make this up. It's not some hooey idea bantered around by a bunch of pot-smoking hippies. This is the real deal put to use by real people who understand the huge impact on our daily lives this principle has, whether we believe in it or not. The principle is this: if we feel unworthy, not good enough, too old, too young, or a myriad of other self-defeating thoughts and beliefs, this great unfathomable power simply says yes. If you believe that you are a powerful, creative, spiritual being whose life works magnificently, this same infinite force says yes, and that is the life you will experience. So what do you want to believe? You don't want to be waiting around thinking, I'll believe it when I see it. Pay it forward. Live as if it's already so, because if you believe it is already so, in the one infinite source, it is already so. Another quote by Dr. Holmes says, we who believe that there is only one, and that this one is a source of good, knows that if the good were not already ours in the invisible, it would be impossible for us to procure it in any manner. Everything comes out of the one, and the one is infinite, which means everything already exists in this one, everything. In the invisible, every possibility, every probability is awaiting for our belief in it to materialize. This is going on whether we believe it or not. The only thing that gets in our way of having our dreams is our own belief or disbelief in having those dreams. Now, this is huge. The reason it can feel as if our lives are out of our hands is because of all that is unconscious within us. When we hear ourselves speak negatively about ourselves or others, even in jest, those words feed the creative process. This is an important point worth repeating. Everything we think, say, do, or feel, conscious or unconscious, is constantly feeding the creation of our lives. The spiritual practice of denying the negative and proclaiming the truth is immensely effective whenever we hear ourselves say or think anything negative, not only as a ritual in the morning or evening, but all through the day. Heck, I have caught myself sometimes upwards of 100 times during the day, but it's worth it. It's totally worth making sure I'm thinking good of myself and others. When we think, speak, or feel anything that is in discord with who we want to be in the world, those are the moments where affirmative prayer, or as we like to call it in science of mind, spiritual mind treatment, can be the most powerful. Our lives are the reflection of the totality of what we embody. And what we embody is based on what we believe. As we transform ourselves through spiritual practice, embodying it is what we wish to create, the more our lives reflect that back to us, right in physical form. Are you getting what I'm saying here? Take a deep breath and relax, because this is incredibly vital to the creative process of your life and mine. The more we catch ourselves thinking, feeling, or acting against our own desires, or against who we have come here to be, and restate what it is we really want, the deeper we transform what we embody and thus bring into form the life of our dreams. You know, the medical community believes strongly in the impact of our beliefs on our healing. It's called the placebo effect. Any trial done on any new drug must include a control group that's given a placebo, which is basically a sugar pill, to test against the effectiveness of the drug. The drug's positive effects must outweigh the positive effects of the placebo by enough to warrant the use of that drug before it can be approved as worthwhile. You may or may not be amazed at how many folks get healthy on the placebo. The results are dramatic and completely based on belief. There have been studies on the power of prayer, even when the person being prayed for was unaware, that have shown extraordinary results. There is no doubt to the power of thought, and yet when we doubt, a doubting thought has power too. Our doubts weigh in just as strongly as what we embody as any other thoughts. Weeding those doubting thoughts out can create a powerful knowing. So back to Ernest Holmes. The universe is inexhaustible. It is limitless, knows no bounds, and has no confines. We are not depending on a reed shaken by the wind, but on the principle of life itself. For all that we have or ever shall need, it is not some power or a great power. It is all power. All we have to do is believe, never wavering, no matter what happens. As we do this, we shall find that things are steadily coming our way, and that they are coming without the awful effort which destroys the peace of mind of the majority of the race. We know that there can be no failure in God's mind, and this mind is the power on which we are depending. To the extent each of us believe we can access this inexhaustible power, that is the extent of our embodiment, and what we embody manifests. Let me say that again. What we embody manifests. So the more you pay it forward, the more you live your life like you've already achieved your dreams, the more likely those dreams are to show up right before your eyes like a miracle. Again, this is not airy-fairy. It's not just positive thinking. It takes a discipline to remember who we truly are. It takes practice to embody the powerful belief that leads to knowing, that leads to creation. It takes paying it forward. So are we playing make-believe by living as if it was so? No, because in the invisible it is so. It must be. Everything must exist in that which is infinite. Otherwise, it's not infinite. It's finite. And it's not finite. It's infinite. So does that mean that once we have embodied this truth, our lives become this easy, grace-filled experience where nothing goes wrong? No. Well, yes. Except I'm saying that nothing is wrong. I'm talking about a way of perceiving your world, knowing that everything is for your good, leading to you exactly where you need to be at the perfect and right time. And Dr. Holmes tells us, if we believe that the Spirit incarnate in us as us can demonstrate, shall we be disturbed at what appears to contradict this? It is through our belief we recognize that no matter what the circumstance may look like, it must turn out in our good, that it is already for our good. As our belief builds, so does our confidence and our ability to relax when circumstances arise which we may not like. Belief is what carries us through the rough times. By spiritual understanding is not meant anything strange or unnatural, but merely the belief in goodness must be greater than any apparent manifestation of its opposite. Again, that was Holmes. Imagine living a life where you totally believe and understood that everything is for your good. Imagine your life knowing that everything is on your side. Imagine how you would feel or behave. Imagine experiencing anything that was going on from the viewpoint that everything is on your side, no matter what the circumstance. Lastly, Holmes tells us to talk, live, act, believe, and know that you are a center in this one. All the power there is, all the presence there is, all the love there is, all the peace there is, all the good there is, and the only God there is omnipresent. Consequently, the infinite is in and through each of us and is in and through everything. Act as though I am and I will be. Pay it forward. What do I mean by that? Believe it before you see it. Treat others with a kindness, compassion, and loving nature as if they were already treated you that way, as if they already treated you that way. Believe for yourself you are worthy. You are more than enough. You are a gift to the world. You are the divine in form, and your life is a miracle. I love you. Thank you.